Hi everyone, welcome back. Today we're going to be doing an unboxing and demo trying out SNS Dip Powder. This kit here is the French Manicure kit. The first powder in here is the foundation powder, and this is going to be your clear powder. And then the next powder in here is going to be the classic white. And then the next one is going to be the pink color, and it is a soft pink powder. Moving on to the liquids, so the bottles are really nice. They're glass and they're sturdy, and I like that the caps are all different colors. So the first liquid in here is going to be your dip base, and the brush is really nice, and it also has a stopper in the bottle. I really do enjoy a dip liquid with a stopper in it. The next one is the activator, then you have your dip top coat. They also include a serum in here, which smells amazing, and then a brush cleaner as well. So you have 5 liquids total. You also have a brush. In here you can use this for ombre or you can use it as a dust brush. And then the other item in here is going to be a cuticle item. And then it also has that little cuticle pusher, and you can use that cuticle pusher as well as a little scoopy for your powder. And it comes with a file and then a buffer. So it's really nice that they include that in the kit. And then you also have some nail prep pads, which are just your standard 70% alcohol pads. Those are the trays to complete the French Dip Mani. And then you also have some brush head replacements. So we're going to go ahead and jump into this mani. So full disclosure, I have never done a French Dip Mani before ever. So this is my first time using a French Dip kit and trying to achieve the perfect French dip. So I'm going to go ahead with the first step here. I'm going in with my base. Now with these liquids, they apply really nicely, but a little bit does go a long way. So whenever you're trying a new liquid for the first time, just try not to flood your cuticle area so you have a clean, crisp cuticle line. So these jars are really full, as you can see here. When I was dipping it in at first, the powder was kind of going everywhere. So then I went and grabbed a cupcake liner and to go dip in. So then all that excess powder would go into the cupcake liner. So then after that, I'm going to go ahead and clean up my cuticles, and then we're going to go ahead and repeat this step on all the nails. So the first step, you're going to put the foundation powder on all 5 nails, and then you're going to repeat that process for a second time. So I'm going to go ahead and let you watch this process, and I'll pop back in a little bit. All right, now that we're done with that step, we're going to go in and start our French manicure process. So I'm going to go ahead and put some of that classic white into the little French dip tray there. And originally I was going to pour it in. I was like, I don't know how much I need, so I'll go ahead and scoop it in. But then I was like, that's going to take forever. So then I ended up just dumping it in there. I did not really know how much to put in. As you can see there, I'm kind of testing it out there with my finger to kind of see, once I dip it in there, what kind of line I'm getting. And then the next thing is, after you have your classic white ready, you will need that soft pink as well. So I always stir my powders first just to fluff them up before I go ahead and dip in it. And now I'm going to go in with the base coat again. I'm just going to make sure that I thoroughly coat that whole entire nail with the dip base before we go ahead and try to dip our finger in the French white tray. So now I'm going to go ahead and attempt to do this for the first time ever. And there we go. So far I'm like, okay, it's not really giving me that smile line that I want. So with these trays, it doesn't really give you like a line or indicator or stopper where you should be kind of stopping, or like a guide. I've seen trays in the past that kind of have different lines on there, so you kind of know how far to go. But I think for my first attempt here on the thumb, it looks really good. So then after you dip your finger into the classic white, you just go ahead and I hand poured the soft pink over the nail. You can dip it in the jar as well. I was just a little nervous at first because I didn't want to bump that line at all. I wanted to keep that crisp line as best as I could without disturbing the French tip line. So now we're going to go ahead and repeat that process again. And I'm going to go ahead and let you watch this process, and I'll pop back in a few moments. Alright, so let's talk about these powders. I really do like how these powders apply. I think they apply really thin and not bulky, so they are finely milled. And if you are trying a French dip kit for the first time like I am, I definitely think this kit is good on the powders alone based on how finely milled they are. So it does help prevent bulkiness on that nail, especially when you're trying to build up that French manicure look. Also, I was really impressed when I was looking on their website. They have over 100 different dip color powders, and they are hypoallergenic, which I was shocked by. So I'm really impressed that they're hypoallergenic. So if you ever had like a reaction to any acrylic powder or anything like that, SNS might be the way to go, just because they are hypoallergenic and they are 10 free, which means there's no harsh chemicals in the dip powders, which in the end result into healthier, better looking nails. Also, their dip powders have vitamins infused in them, and there's vitamin E, A, D, B5, and calcium. So I thought that was really unique, that it's just not your standard dip powder. It's actually hypoallergenic, has the vitamins in it, and they're super finely milled. So I was very intrigued by that alone on the dip powders. And they do apply really well. I really do want to try some colors to see how those apply, because we are testing out the French dip kit, and two are the well, one's a clear, one's a sheer, and then one's a white. So it's not really a fair judgment on the color pigmentation, just because we are doing a French manicure. Now that we're done with the powders, I'm going to put those away, and now I'm going to go in with my stiff bristle brush and just make sure I removed any excess powder that might be left on my nails before I go in and activate. And then we're going to go ahead and activate all the nails. So the liquids, I do really like the base so far. I think it's a medium dry time, which is perfect for this kit, because if you need to touch up anything when you are dipping into that French manicure tray, you definitely have time to work on your French dip line before you go ahead and pour the sheer pink over it. And the activator doesn't have a scent to it, and the base coat didn't have much of a scent to it either. These liquids are definitely low odor. So I'm just finishing up with the activator, and then I'm going to go ahead and file and buff. Alright, now that I finished filing and buffing all my nails, I'm going to go ahead and use a lint-free wipe with some alcohol on it, just to remove any filing dust that may be on my nails. So I do really like the filing buffer that came in this kit. It's really nice. They also do sell it on their website, and it's like $1 and some change, I believe. And it's a really nice buffer. I really like it. Now I'm going to go in with the activator, and I'm going to go ahead and activate each nail. So after filing and buffing, you just want to make sure that you have a clean surface on that nails. That's why I use the alcohol wipe, just to remove any of that dust before you go in with your final step of activator. Because if you have any loose powders from filing and buffing and you go directly in with your activator, you could get some of that filing dust in your cuticle area, and then it will harden, and then you'll have to go back and fix that. Now I'm just going in with a lint-free wipe to remove any excess activator that may be left in the nail before we go in with our top coat. Now for the top coat, your first top coat, you want to work quickly. You're just going to do 3 quick swipes on the nail, and then I always brush off my brush on a paper towel before I go ahead and stick it in the bottle. This will just help prevent my liquids from getting contaminated, just in case I pick up any extra activator on that nail. Even though we use a lint-free wipe, it still happens with the chemical reaction that you can still contaminate your liquids no matter how much you wipe off that activator. I'm going to go in with the second layer of the top coat, and now for this layer you can be a little bit more precise and take your time when you're applying this top coat. Now the top coat, I really liked how shiny it was, and it also had a low odor as well. Now this kit is $63, which is a pretty fair price point. You do get the 3 powders, which are hypoallergenic, and then you do get 5 liquids, and one of the liquids is a cuticle oil that you'll see here in a little bit, and it smells amazing. It is a clean, light scent. which is really nice. It's not anything too overpowering, and it feels amazing. Here it is right here. And actually it's a serum is what they call it, but I really like it, and I've been using it the last couple days, and I really like how it feels on my hands. It absorbs fast and it doesn't leave your nails greasy. So I really do like how this manicure turned out. It was my first time trying it. I was a little intimidated by it, but I think the end results are pretty good for my first time. Now, a kit like this, it's definitely going to take you some time to master it. I do need to practice a little bit more, and I think I can get a good hang of it with a little bit of practice. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please subscribe, give it a thumbs up, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!